This Friday, I am playing my first game of Daggerheart as a player, and I could not be more excited. So I figured, since it's my first character, why not do an impromptu recording of me building that character randomly, choosing the class, ancestry, and community? So let's use Demiplane to build my first character and see what happens. If you're a fan of Daggerheart, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to be talking about this game a lot, hoping to not only understand it more myself, but hopefully helping others understand it as well. So let's build this character. All right, everyone, let's start making the character. Start off with class. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 character. 11 classes to pick from. So let's do the random number generator. 11. So we're going to go with, just be safe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are going to start off with a wizard. I've always wanted to play a wizard. One of my favorite classes in D&D. Haven't got the chance to play either of a wizard in either D&D or Daggerheart, as if I haven't been able to be a player that often. So we're going to start off with that, and let's see what we got here. Class items, a book you're trying to translate, or a tiny harmless elemental pet. I think I'm going to stick with the book because I really like books. And I really like kind of like the idea of like the wizard carrying around a lot of books. And you have the hope feature here. Not this time. Spend 3 hope to force an adversary within far range to reroll an attack or damage roll. That it would be very helpful. Prestidigitation, just got some spells. Number between 1 and 12. When you roll that number on a duality die, gain a hope or clear stress, which is very helpful because I'm probably going to be my character's probably going to get pretty stressed. And I'm going to go, of course, School of Knowledge. School of War isn't bad, but I kind of like the character that is kind of more sheltered with magic. Eventually, I probably will play a School of War, and that's going to be a lot of fun too, but I kind of want to go with like a little sheltered character right now. Let's trade knowledge, prepare, take an additional domain card. Take an additional domain card of your level or lower from a domain you have access to. Yeah, these are the foundation features, so I won't have to worry about that. Specialization, don't have to worry about that. Mastery, no wait, foundation, maybe. I do. Okay, so we're gonna go wizard. Let's choose our subclass. Like I said, I'm gonna go School of Knowledge. Really like that subclass. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun playing as the School of Knowledge wizard. Gonna probably just be a little bit more of a sheltered character, depending on, of course, we'll see what we get. Additional domain card. All right, so since I picked the School of Knowledge, I'm getting an additional domain card. Don't know much about the party that we're going to be playing with, so I think I'm just going to go with based off kind of what I want to play, what I want to take. I'm going to go with the Book of Iliad. Now let's pick our traits. +2 is definitely going to be knowledge. And here are all the traits that you can choose from when making your character. I think that they'll have suggested traits. So looks like their suggested traits look like they also show your suggested traits here. These are the different traits that you can choose, like agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. So let's kind of look at these. And I don't know if I'm going to really worry about presence. Go with instinct. And I'm going to give myself make my strength my minus. So +2 to knowledge, +1 to instinct. I'm not really too worried about presence. If I remember that correctly, that's going to be kind of like your charm, yeah. I'm not really too worried about having like good of that. I'm going to put a -1 to strength because I feel like I'm not going to be using strength that often. But I don't really worry about being the most charismatic person in the group. So yeah, +2 to knowledge, +1 to instinct, +1 to agility, and -1 to strength, with my finesse being +0. All right, now choose your starting weapons. During character creation, you'll choose starting weapons, armor, and other items for your characters. Most likely going to probably stick with like a magical weapon, like right here. You can choose either a two-handed primary weapon or a one-handed primary weapon and a one-handed secondary weapon, then equip them. Whenever I get to play as my dual wielding himbo, that'll be very important to pick. Arcane frame wheelchair. I really love the fact that they have the wheelchairs in these games. It's so cool. You know, I just love a character with a staff. I'm probably going to choose a great staff. Trait is knowledge, that's good. Range very far. Damage is D6. Burden, two-handed, so I'm going to be kind of carrying that staff around, probably like shoot it out. On a successful attack, roll an additional damage die and discard the lowest result. That is very helpful. And it looks like that actually might be the suggested as well. Okay, these are all the weapons. Oh, choose, so I get to choose two. But I can only have one equipped. As long as it's two-handed. You know, I'm going to give him a little bit of a dagger. I think that'll be fun. Just carrying around a little dagger. He's just not prepared for what's out there. So he thinks like, okay, so if his staff is not going to be good enough, at least I'll have a dagger to be able to, in case of terrible situations, which my staff is no longer useful. All right, now choose starting armor. Use armor to reduce the severity of incoming attacks. At character creation, you can choose one set of armor. You can choose from the armor tab. So let's just go down there. Let's show less. I'm going to go with the leather armor. I really like how in Daggerheart you can have any type of armor that you want. I always thought it was a little limiting in other games where you couldn't cast if you had like heavy armor. I didn't really like that much, but I mean, I also understand the rules of the game. Take your starting inventory. You know, I think my character is probably going to hold back. I might be a little bit more stressed out. I'm pretty sure stamina is for stress. Yep, I'm gonna need to clear 1d4. So let's go with stress. Let's go with a stamina potion or a book. There's my book. And then decide which carrier spells in. I'm gonna go with large tomes. Like I said before, I really enjoy kind of like the character that is like he just has like tons of books on him. He's probably got like a little backpack that he carries around with him. And he's just on this like his first adventure, so he's got like tons of books in there, maybe some books like smaller books kind of like up the sleeve, up in like the pockets. And then now let's choose our domain deck cards. Okay, so I get to pick, I already picked the Book of Iliad, so I can choose two more of these. Wow, I think I remember. Make spellcast roll against a target on success, spend a hope to send a bolt of shimmering light towards them. Target becomes temporarily. I'm going to be a team player. I'm going to pick the bolt so I can help more. Here's the power push. Tava's armor. Wild flame. Mysterious mist. What's that mysterious mist? Make a spellcast roll, 13, to cast temporary thick fog that gathers in a stationary area within very close range. The fog heavily obscures this area and everything in it. Like that. Make a spellcast roll against up to 3 adversaries within melee range. Targets you succeed against take 2d6. Yeah, let's go with that. He's just going to be a little bit more nervous, so I think he's going to kind of prepare himself with like a few different types of spells that he can use to protect himself and others. All right, let's go on to heritage. I think that there's about 18 heritages, 18 ancestries. Let's count that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 18. All right, so let's go back to the number generator. 12. Sticking very close to the first one. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Halfling. Let's go. I haven't played a halfling before. I played a warforged that had like kind of like the disguise self, so I was able to make myself look like more of like a halfling, a little bit of a taller halfling. And halflings are pretty cool. I've liked them for a bit. Yeah, can't really read that. Halflings are small humanoids with large hairy feet and prominent rounded ears. At the start of each session, everyone in your party gains a hope. When you roll a 1 on your hope die, you can re-roll it. That will be very helpful. So like it says you can re-roll it, because if I roll 2 1s, I don't want to re-roll them. Because in Daggerheart, rolling 2 1s is the same as is a critical success. Pretty much any numbers. If you roll the same number on the 2 die, that's a critical success. So I don't want to have to re-roll 1s if I get both 1s, but that'll be very helpful. Oh shit, what did I do? Oh, let's go back. Okay, let's go back to heritage. And then let's also randomly roll this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Four. We're going to be a Ridgeborn. Being part of a Ridgeborn community means you've called the rocky peaks and sharp cliffs of the mountainside home. You have advantage on rolls to traverse dangerous cliffs and ledges, navigate harsh environments, and use your survival knowledge. So that kind of does go against like kind of like my sheltered character, but maybe like he was still sheltered, but he was with a traveling community. But didn't really stray too far away from that community. Kind of like stuck within there and just kind of like focused on studying like how to like kind of like studying in survival and different like studying different environments that they kind of come across, and they're kind of like this is the path that we should go. Okay, now let's go up to experiences. I think that we're okay, so we're gonna create our connections with the group when we're actually playing with them. So choose your description. Clothes that are old and slightly tattered. That'll be fun because he's kind of like traveling and he's on the outside and everything. Let's stick with kind of what the options they gave us. Eyes like earth. I like that. I'm going to make him a little rotund. A lot of walking, but he's just got a little bit of a rotund body. And then spend a lot of time outside, so I'm going to go with sand. Kind of like that, a little bit more of a tan look for being outside a lot. I'll do like a traveling librarian. What responsibilities did your community once count on you for? Was in charge of navigating map creation. That's fun. How did you let them down? massive weather change that I should have seen. Yeah, I like that. So I was in charge of navigating and map creation. I was kind of like the person who would kind of like jot down on the notes of what we've come across in like different weather patterns. And as I was traveling with the group, I caused a lot of issues because I did not foresee the complete weather change that was coming, and it destroyed a lot of our cargo, and I was had to leave after that. You spent your life searching for a book or object of great significance. What is it? Why is it so important to you? The ultimate map. A map that can absorb other maps and add it to itself. I want to navigate the world. So it looks like my character is making a little bit of changes since he was Ridgeborn. He's kind of more outside. I want him to become more of a cartographer, somebody who's going around wanting to create the ultimate map to be able to ensure that other people can find where they're going. He doesn't want to keep it for himself. He wants to give it away. He wants to be able to make copies of it and give it to the others, give it to the other travelers in the world. Why is it so important to me? Because I know how it feels to be lost. And if I had a map, maybe I wouldn't feel so lost. You have a powerful rival. Son, the leader's son, who is more travel and figure it out where I like to be prepared. Yeah, on this Ridgeborn community, we're kind of like traveling around a bit, and the leader's son, who is just kind of like this natural navigator, who, you know, those kind of people that always have that kind of like that directional intelligence, where they can know where they're so good at figuring out what's northeast, south, and west. And for my character, I would like I want to create a map so people are making it easy, so it's easier for them to travel and not need to rely on their instincts as much. And maybe that's good and maybe that's bad. Maybe people should rely on their instincts more, but my character believes that if you have a map, you can never be lost. All right, let's choose experiences. Cartographer, of course. Now I have to do that. Pretty much if I'm very good at noticing small details when it comes to traveling around, figuring it out, like where I'm going. Like I can make, when I draw like on my map, I can notice these small details that other people may not be able to notice. Let's go with magical historian because I love history. And that's going to be an easy one for me. He's been with the Ridgeborn, he's been with this community, understanding kind of like the world that they're existing in, and everywhere he goes, he's just so excited to find more history, find more like magical artifacts, find a bunch of different stuff that he could study and he could learn. That's easy. I like that they do have these like experiences that they can help you with, because I understand like for a lot of people, establishing your experiences can be very difficult. So that's a lot of fun. And that's very nice that they are helping you out. And they even have them all down here as well. No, right now I really enjoy Demiplane's system. I've used it only once on the release of Daggerheart, where I was a temporary guest on it with a group of people that we were just doing kind of like a combat scenario. Sadly, I had to leave before the rest of the one shot was going on because getting my Daggerheart book was nerve-wracking, and it took me longer than I was hoping it would, but I eventually got it, and I'm so happy. All right, but yeah, I think that's everything. Now let's name my little guy. I'm gonna go take the halfling. You know what? Let's go with kind of like a little fun name. Let's go with Reed. Reed, the librarian cartographer. All right, we're going to be level 1 for this. So I think that might be everything. So let's pull up a character. Let's pull up the character sheet. All right, lots of stuff here. But it all looks pretty simple. My armor is 0. No, let's actually equip the armor. Oh, equipment. That's probably it. Sorry about that. All right, so let's equip the great staff. Leather armor. That should be good. And then small dagger. I'm not gonna be able to use that. Soft of rope. Yep. Okay, so yeah, it will only let me equip even if I just have it on my belt. All right, so since I did equip my armor and my weapon, I now have the great staff up here. Like I read earlier, powerful on a successful attack, roll an additional damage die, and discard the lowest result. So I guess since I have the +2, it increases it. I have a +2 to the roll, I believe so. And my armor is at 3, so I have 3 armor slots to use. Minor damage is 7, and severe is 14. He's not going to be difficult. He's not going to be very hard to hit, but I'll probably make sure to stay at the back. Oh yeah, let's look at the details. Okay. Got those. My journal. This is going to be kind of fun. I'll be able to make some notes on here. That's really cool of Demiplane. And effects and features. So yeah, these are all the things that I can do. That's very cool. I'm so excited to play this game on Friday, especially now that I have my character. Yeah, he's not going to be much of a smasher or like grappler. But yeah, I think that is a read for now. I'll be establishing kind of I'll be establishing the connections when we're playing the game. We're going to be playing this game on Friday. It's going to be kind of a private game. I'm really excited to play with Isaac. I've been watching the Dodos for a very long time now, and he is such a great GM. So he's going to be so much fun to play with. Very excited. Wish me luck. But yeah, that's Reed. If you haven't used Demiplane yet and you're playing Daggerheart, I highly recommend using Demiplane right now. It was a very simple process of building a character. Thank you so much for watching. Keep that glass half full and have a great next game.